quite some time since I have recorded anything. Probably because I've been caught up with college and all the other stuff, but anywho's. I turned 20. Yeah, what a surprise. That a 19-year-old YouTuber was streaming this whole time. Who would have thought? But, yeah. I believe I think it was like 2 weeks ago, it was my 20th birthday and my 20th anniversary of being alive. So, I guess that's also something. But, of course, I wanted to at least, say thank you. Thank you guys for being around, and also, despite the fact that, I used to be cringy, very, very cringy in the past, I have pretty much grown in more to at least understand and try to, adapt to my, to myself, if that makes any sense. But, I'm only doing what I can when I can. Like, not everybody's the smartest man alive, and not everybody's the this or the that. Not everybody's just that. So, in my opinion, it just feels like a normal day, but it feels like I'm one year more closer to the grave. But I know that's just talking out of my ass and just me being a negative rooster in the morning, but at the end of the day, it just feels like a regular day, if I were to say. Well, minus the fact that I refused to go to work on that day. Someone had to pick up my shift, and if not, then I would be calling out. Because pretty much I did not want to work on that day. And despite it being my birthday, I should automatically get the day off. I mean, most people work on their birthdays. Me, I just choose not to because it's a special day. And nonetheless, it's 20 years of me being alive. Like, not many people in my generation make it up to 20 and live to tell the tale. Especially in today's generation, where basically it's just nothing but a bunch of freaking crackheads. And as a black man myself, the first thing that people would do is resort to drugs, and possibly even ending their lives at a young age. Of course, me, I do not take any drugs aside from, gaming addiction a little bit, but, there's always the break. There's always some breaks where I try to take some break, gaming and focusing on what I need to focus on. Stuff like that helps me on track. So, as for like what I've been doing, I've pretty much been focusing on college and work, and being the best boyfriend I could ever be. But enough about that. Yeah, pretty much life is all good and dandy. But but of course college was getting intense, so I had to make sure I had to fall back on that a little bit and lean into concentration on my studies. So now that classes are over and I have at least a couple of weeks to myself, I just thought I'd pretty much put this out there. This was originally supposed to come out on my birthday, but things happen. Life happens, things happen, things do get in the way, and but all in all, I kind of feel like stuff is coming around a little bit as a 20-year-old. Like, I don't get to enjoy the things I used to enjoy when I was younger, like going outside, for instance. Well, versus in Atlanta, where I used to live at, in the Carolinas where I live at now, it's a shithole. If I'm being the most positive person in the world, it's a shithole. But at the same time, you can't really have, because those friends are, and those shitholes who are pretty much the other shitholes, I have no idea what I'm fucking talking about when in terms of shitholes. Long story short, they're really bad people. people, at least in my neighborhood, they're a bad influence. Like, a really, really bad influence. So, in my case, I'm trying right now to at least try to do something as a 20-year-old and, you know, try to enjoy that activity. I'm trying to at least find some activities to do to enjoy it while I'm young because, you know, well, soon enough, I'm pretty much gonna have a kid. Cat, by the way, because I don't believe in actual kids, because those are more harder to take care of than a cat. You feed it, you give it water, you give it a bathroom, and you clean it every once in a while. Go for a walk, then you can let it go for a walk. Well, make sure you have a leash because, you know, cats tend to stray off into the wonders of the wilderness and never come back. But in the end, I'm thinking about having a cat, despite me having some allergies to it, but that's not going to stop me because they have medicine for it. Just don't overdose myself and I start foaming out the mouth. But all in all, I really do want a cat because I'm a cat person. And I'm not going to be I mean, sure, my virginity's going to be taken by someone I actually love, which now, but it's the fact that I don't think about having any kids while I'm young. And I'm not thinking about having some actual kids when I'm older because that's a lot of work. Getting them an education, trying to teach them how to read, trying to do all of this stuff just for them to go down a spiral hill or wherever they end up might be you God knows what. And you're trying to do your best for your kid, but then all of a sudden they end up doing the stuff that these newer generation of people do. Vaping and shorting out their lifespan. And I hate to say it, but I'm already seeing it right now, as it is. And it's kind of sad to see such a thing happen. So, I mean, I'm glad I'm one of those lucky few to not take any drugs, and people would actually ID me because I look young, hello, but at the same time, sometimes things are tempting to want drugs and stuff. But, all in all, I'm kind of glad to be 20. And I already know, I feel like I'm old. Most people would just say, you're not old, you're this, you're that. And yeah, I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of iffy, if you will. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy being 20. In most terms, it's like you're 20, figure something out. So there's that. But I think we have shortened out our time, so of course I'm going to probably wrap this up with some news from Star Trek Online, pretty much. So of course we're going to be getting a new TFO and a new story starting on November the 1st. And we're going to be getting some new stuff, which is the Prodigy from the Prodigy Lockbox. I'm looking forward to getting those ground phasers, which of course has those kit performance, but of course they do not beat a particular weapon that I have under construction at the moment, which is pretty much a prototype, and I cannot wait to not show y'all what it does, because of course, knowing Cryptic, they're going to nerf the living hell out of it, and I refuse to let that happen. So, of course, I'm going to keep that secret lid tight shut out of my mouth. So I mean, if you guys even want to see me use the thing, you'll probably find me on the TFO using it somewhere somehow. Probably in the probably doing the Operation Wolf TFO where you have to pretty much steal data from the Terran defense. And all we're going to be, of course, I'm going to probably do some unboxing on November 1st, but of course I'm pretty low on money right now, so that's not going to be a possibility. But of course, like, I'm going to try to at least save a little bit for it, if I can, whenever I can, that is. But all in all, it's going to be a pretty good season, especially with the new story update. And of course, I've been seeing a lot of people actually struggle with these new Borgs, so and a lot of these times I've been tweaking my team, and right now I'm trying to create a group, or at least create some officers that are designed to fight the Borg. So, of course, a way to adapt to these new Borg. And right now, my omission to the modulator stuff is pretty slow. Oh, I don't have the thingy. But anyways, it's pretty slow. No. It requires a lot of grinding advanced content and a lot of the advanced randoms and stuff. People don't want to do them because they're so lazy and all of that and all the crap. And also another announcement, which is the T6X2 upgrade token, is going to be, released at the same time on that day of release of Star Trek Incursion on console. So of course I can't wait. Of course I'm going to refit. Of course it's going to be called a refit for me, refitting my flagship. So and also another thing, I'm not using the Valkyries anymore, as you can see from the bridge. I am going to be using my Acheron because, I mean, recently I learned it's a Dreadnought carrier, no less, but at the same time, it's a Terran vessel. And also another thing, I mean, I understand the drone ships is what makes the Valkyries pretty popular to switch back to, but at the same time, I've not seen many people use the Valkyries ever since the drone ships got released. So, and most likely I've been using the Terran Acheron Dreadnought carrier for a pretty long time, and it has been my flagship and has been serving me proudly since its first release and when I first got it out the box. So of course I'm going to pretty much utilize my Acheron, so that is a $200 well spent ship, and which is pretty much my flagship most of the time. So of course I'm going to wrap this up and thank you guys for actually watching, and I hope it's not really that long. 98 the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to like, share, and subscribe, hit the bell notification because it's YouTube, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.